Welcome to this explainer. Forget everything you thought you knew about the dawn of humanity. Today, we're diving into a staggering chronological epic, tracing roughly 760,000 years of human history. We're doing this not just to understand where we come from, but to see exactly where our future is heading.
It's a massive question, isn't it? What if everything we assume about the origins of humanity is just the tip of the iceberg? Today, we are cracking open the profound Akashic records. Think of it as a cosmic, spiritual memory bank of the universe. We'll be looking at insights revealed in the 5th chapter of our source material, exploring an entirely new paradigm that completely challenges what we know about our past, and honestly, our present.
The text we are unpacking today is The Laws of the Sun by Ryuho Okawa. We're going to zero in on the incredible 5th chapter titled The Golden Age. This section of the book outlines the dramatic rise and the catastrophic fall of 5 super ancient civilizations that once spanned the globe way before our current recorded history even began. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll explore the lost ancient continents, check out early civilizations like Ghana, Mutram, and Ramdia, then look at the great empires of Mu and Atlantis. After that, we'll decode the law of civilization cycles, and finally, explore the dawn of the Golden Age.
Okay, let's jump right into part 1, the lost ancient continents.
Our journey starts far beyond the conventional timelines of ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. We're turning the clock back hundreds of thousands of years to continents that have long since shifted, sunk, or literally frozen over. The text maps humanity's rise from the psychic era of the Ghana civilization through a massive spiritual revolution in Mutram right up to a highly artistic age in Ramdia.
Which brings us to part 2, Ghana, Mutram, and Ramdia.
Let's look a little closer at these first 3 forgotten eras. We want to see the diverse spectrum of human, spiritual, and physical evolution here. You see, each ancient civilization had a very distinct focus. They weren't just primitive hunter-gatherers trying to survive. They were engaged in vastly different complex pursuits, ranging from raw psychic power all the way to the absolute pursuit of divine art. Let's start with the Ghana civilization, which existed roughly 760,000 years ago. According to the text, human biology back then was wildly different. Men actually possessed an emerald-colored third eye right in the center of their foreheads, which they opened and used as a psychic weapon for tribal defense. And the women possessed psychic wombs, allowing them to literally communicate with spirits from heavenly realms before conception. I mean, wow, right? But this incredible era vanished completely when their continent was violently split apart during a cataclysmic earthquake.
Following the destruction of Ghana, a new civilization, called Mutram, popped up about 153,000 years ago. What's super fascinating here is the location. It was on what is now Antarctica, and back then it enjoyed a warm, temperate climate. Guided by a leader named Moria, they attempted a massive spiritual revolution, trying to move from a culture just focused on food and survival to a spirit-centric one. But a sudden shift of the Earth's axis plunged the continent into an endless winter, freezing the whole thing over.
Next, we hit the Ramdia civilization, roughly 44,000 years ago in the Indian Ocean. This era was led by a great guiding spirit named Elemeria. Interestingly, the text notes Elemeria is a past life of the figure we all know as Zeus. Ramdia was an era of extreme aesthetic sensibility. Spiritual training didn't mean isolating yourself in a cave. It meant mastering the arts and honing your physical senses to superhuman levels. We're talking masters who could distinguish between 3,000 different colors and 2,500 distinct smells. Literally mind-blowing.
Moving on to part 3, the empires of Mu and Atlantis.
Now we leap forward to the 2 magnificent civilizations that actually closely mirror our own modern, technologically advanced world. First up, the Empire of Mu, which peaked about 17,000 years ago in the Pacific Ocean. Led by a magnificent king named Lamu, identified in the source as a past life of the Buddha, Mu was a massive empire that successfully merged religion and science. They literally utilized pyramid power to absorb and amplify solar energy, powering their daily lives. It was this utopian balance. But eventually, true spirituality faded. It was sadly replaced by arrogance and false animalistic worship. Survivors from the fall of Mu eventually helped seed the next great empire, Atlantis, roughly 12,000 years ago. Now, Atlantis reached unparalleled heights of scientific, political, and philosophical advancement under an all-knowing, genius leader named Thoth. They had airships, submarines, you name it. It was a highly advanced society that initially believed science and reason were reflections of the divine mind.
But within all this perfection, a fatal flaw emerged. After Thoth, Atlantis drifted into sheer scientific arrogance. The rationalists started believing only in logic, technology, and the physical realm. Enter a spiritual reformer named Agasha, identified in the text as a past life of Jesus. Agasha taught the reality of unseen spiritual guides, the importance of faith, and the absolute power of love. Predictably, the highly scientific society viewed his teachings as irrational, unscientific, and frankly dangerous.
This exact conflict led to the ultimate downfall of Atlantis. The violent persecution of Agasha culminated in him and his followers being captured and brutally buried alive in a public square. The text explains that the resulting dark, negative collective thoughts created such a dense spiritual cloud over the continent that it actually triggered a massive reaction from the Earth's consciousness itself. In just a single day and night, the magnificent continent of Atlantis was completely swallowed by the sea.
This brings us to part 4, the law of civilization cycles.
So the survivors of Atlantis fled to places like Egypt and South America, seeding our current civilization under the guidance of reincarnated spirits like Buddha in India, Zeus in Greece, and Moses and Jesus in Israel. But stepping back, we see a crucial, recurring pattern. It's like clockwork. Step 1. A civilization reaches its absolute peak of scientific and material progress. Step 2. Society inevitably falls into extreme materialism, completely losing its spiritual humility and its reverence for the unseen. Step 3. A catastrophic reset inevitably follows to cleanse that dark collective consciousness. Looking closely at our 21st century reliance on science, our technological omnipotence, and our ever-growing materialism, it is literally impossible not to wonder, are we staring into the exact same mirror as the fallen Atlanteans? Are we setting ourselves up for step 3 of this eternal cycle?
Let's look at part 5, Dawn of the Golden Age.
I know, it's a pretty heavy thought, but fortunately, the source text provides a profoundly empowering and hopeful answer to this modern anxiety. As the text explicitly states regarding the sinking of Atlantis and the fall of these past eras, one end means one beginning. The end of an old civilization is never a final doom. It is simply the necessary, systemic clearing required for the beginning of a brand new one. The cyclical nature of history means that any impending global shifts or modern anxieties are not some terrifying apocalypse. Rather, they are the prophesied birth pangs of a luminous new golden age. The text details that this new civilization, one of light, hope, and the integrated truth of all these past cycles, is prophesied to spread outward from Japan to the rest of the world, creating a new paradise on Earth. And I really love this point. We are reminded that the seeds of this brilliant future are already germinating today, right now, within our own society, just waiting to be nurtured. We don't have to wait for a catastrophic reset. The evolution of our consciousness begins right now, simply by balancing our incredible scientific advancements with deep spiritual humility. As we stand on the brink of this eternal cycle's next magnificent chapter, the ultimate question remains for all of us. Armed with the knowledge of hundreds of thousands of years of human triumph and failure, how will you help shape the dawn of this new era? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the cycles of time.